G'day guys, Nat here from Not in the Manual. So we now have Boombox available for the Tesla cars here in Australia. And it's a pretty good feature because these cars are very, very quiet when you're driving through at low speeds, through car parks and even in and out of your driveway at home. So I think it's a great thing to have. So as soon as it became available, I quickly got into the service section and booked a service appointment to have the pedestrian warning speaker fitted to my car. So my car was built in May of 2021. So I think before November 2021, they weren't fitting pedestrian warning speakers to the front of the car. And after that point, I'm not sure. You'd need to verify that yourself. So if you look underneath the front of the car, you'll see a speaker perforation in the underbody diffuser. Cover, the plastic cover under the front of the car. You'll see I created a short on that and how to determine if you have a pedestrian warning speaker or not. So this car didn't have one. So I booked it in with Tesla. It was just over $300 to have it fitted. You can't just fit a speaker and plug it in. They need to actually load some firmware in the car to give you the Boombox function to get that to activate and work. So I got Tesla to do it. It was pretty easy. I just sat around and waited for them to do it. And yeah, it was quite a good experience, pretty easy to do. So I've had Boombox fitted to my car now for about 4 weeks. And initially it was pretty annoying. The sound in reverse, you cannot change it, you cannot turn it off, you cannot turn the volume down. It's quite loud and it's a loud electronic humming noise, and I'll demonstrate that to you later in the video. Now I've had it for about 4 weeks. I'm pretty used to it. It was a little bit embarrassing at first, but you've got to remember is you're doing this as a safety thing. And I really can't think, instead of having a really loud beeper going, I think it's quite, it's not as bad. You do get used to it and it ramps up with your speed. So if you're reversing really, really slowly, it's not too bad, it's not too loud, but if you reverse very fast, it gets louder and louder as you go. Now in forward, the car makes a very low sort of, it's like a white noise. It sounds like a pump running, a loud pump running, so it's enough to warn pedestrians. And from the outside of the car, when you're standing at the front of the car, it's quite noisy. When you're actually in the car, it's barely audible. It just sounds like your tires rolling on the road. So I will demonstrate that to you later, and you'll see from the front of the car, it is actually quite loud and it would warn pedestrians that you were coming along. So initially I didn't think it made a sound in forward, and the service advisor told me it doesn't make a sound in forward. So I think it's all pretty new to the service guys here in Australia. So I'm super happy with it now, and I think it's a great safety feature for you to have on your car. So it only activates when the car is in drive or in reverse, and when you first take it out of park and put it into gear, it's not that loud. So it's pretty good, and my opinion now, and that's why I wanted to do this video after I'd had it for a while, I really like it. So the Boombox function, I could take and leave it. So I'll just run through that with you right now on the screen and show you the different settings. It won't take long because there's not much to it. Okay, so let's have a look. You need to go into Toy Box, and you can see here now I have a Boombox icon at the bottom, and this is your Boombox functions. I don't know if this differs from what's available in the US, but this is what we have here for the Australian one, and this only works in park. So if I put the car in gear, I can't press anything there, it gets grayed out. So I'll put the car back in park and we can run through it here. So we have play current media. Now I will try and show you these things. I've got my microphone here. I'll hold it out the window and you should be able to hear it. So if you press play current media, it will play whatever media you have playing here in this system. And so I've just got local radio station on. So if I click on play current media, you can hear the sound outside. That's playing that radio station. Now you don't have any control over the volume of that speaker out there with the media. So the controls in here are still only control the sound of the media inside the car. So that's not going to adjust the volume of it. So it is one set volume and it's quite loud. So I think if you wanted to have that play in a park, playing some music or whatever, you want to make sure that there's not a lot of other people around, because it's going to drown out. It's going to be quite loud. It's going to drown out whatever music they're playing, or it's going to really annoy some other people and disturb the peace and quiet. So you're probably still better off just having a little Bluetooth speaker to take with you, a portable Bluetooth speaker, and that would be much better because you can control the volume of that. So the other thing is megaphone. So that uses the microphone inside the car and then projects your voice. It's a little bit muffled. It almost sounds like one of those things where they disguise your voice for the police interviews or for witnesses. But here, you can have a listen to it anyway. So you can see it makes your voice go quite weird. Hopefully you could hear that there. You can also operate that megaphone while your car is in live sentry mode as well. You have an option there to make the car fart and the option to use the megaphone and project your voice through the car speaker remotely. So that could be pretty cool if you're trying to warn some people to get away from your car. The other thing you can do is have a novelty horn sound. So there are a few preset novelty sounds here. You can see down to this point, down to La Cucaracha. And then we've got fart sounds and all the ones here. I'm not going to demonstrate them all. We'll do La Cucaracha, and then we'll have a listen outside the window to see what that sounds like. So you can either do preview or you can press the car's horn. Now, if you press the car's horn, you will have the car horn sound as well as the La Cucaracha. So the car's horn will sound first, and then the novelty sound will start after that. So I'll just do a bit of a demo of that now. So yeah, it's quite loud, so you want to be careful where you use that. But yeah, you're not going to be able to drive down the street and have a V8 car sound playing through that pedestrian warning speaker. Well, not that I know of. There could be some third-party things that allow you to do that, but yeah, it's not something you can use while you drive. So it is just a bit of a novelty thing while you're parked. Now, I've got down here, I've got a little USB plugged in here. Now, if you make a USB and create a folder on the USB called Boombox, you can plug it into the car here, and then you can then have some of your own custom novelty sounds. So I've got like a hovering noise. You can have a listen to that. Yeah, I don't know what that is supposed to be, but it was just, I found it randomly on the internet. So yeah, we can stop that. Yeah, so it's pretty easy to use. Look, I've only played around with this a couple of times. It's not extremely useful for me. If you're a bit of a practical joker, then I think you're going to have a lot of fun with this. So the main benefit of this system, I think, is that pedestrian warning speaker system for safety. And I've been pretty happy. I haven't regretted getting it activated. What I'm going to do now is demonstrate to you the sounds the car makes from outside. We'll go forward and reverse and demonstrate those now. All right, guys, just testing out the pedestrian warning speaker now. So I am here I'm in park at the moment, and I'm just going to put it into drive. And you should hear that whirring sound. I've got the camera at the front of the car looking at near the front right-hand wheel, and that's where the opening for the speaker is. So you should have heard a whirring sound start up, and it almost sounds like a little pump running. If you can hear that there. Put the park brake back on and it turns off. Quiet. Put it back into drive. You should hear that start up again. So as I drive forward, you can hear that get louder. as we get there. So this isn't a very loud sound, but I think it's enough to warn pedestrians that you're coming. And the faster you go, the louder it gets. Initially I thought it was just tyre noise. Okay, hopefully you can hear that there, and that was good. Now we'll just do a quick demo of the sound that the pedestrian warning speaker makes in reverse. It's very different. Okay, now we'll try reverse. So I'm in park at the moment. Flick it into reverse. Now I don't need a camera at the front of the car. You can already hear that buzzing sound. So I've got a camera set up behind the car as if you were a pedestrian listening to this. So you can hear as I speed up. The noise gets louder. Go back in. Reverse again. So you can hear that noise gets louder as the faster you reverse. So I'll just give you a couple more demos of the car going faster in reverse. Okay, in reverse again. Alright, so a quick summary of the pedestrian warning system. So hopefully this video has illustrated enough for you that the sounds it makes and the different options you have with this system and the features. So I don't regret getting it fitted. I think it is a good safety feature. In reverse, it is very loud, and that's something that I think is not super easy to illustrate in a video. So it is very loud, but it's not overly loud when you're driving very slow in reverse. So you can look at it a couple of different ways. I think it forces you to drive slower. I now drive a lot slower out of my driveway because I leave early in the morning and I don't want to wake people up. And if I drove fast out of my driveway, it is very loud. So I think it does force you to drive a bit slower. I wish it was, wasn't as loud, but maybe down the track somewhere we'll be able to either just turn that volume down slightly, maybe have just a lower level, a slightly lower level for that noise. But I think Boombox has been around in other countries for a while now, and I think if that feature isn't there now, it possibly won't be there. It is a strange noise. Even if we could possibly down the track be able to change that noise, the noise that it makes in reverse, I think that would make a difference. But as I said, I think it's good because it forces you to drive a lot slower in reverse. And especially out of my driveway. My driveway at home, I've got hedges and a fence and things. I have really poor vision coming out of my driveway. So it's quite a good feature that it makes you drive a bit slower. But it is something that I wanted to highlight. It is very, very loud. So in forward, I think it's a lot more balanced, the noise. It's like a loud pump running. It's like a white noise. And I think I did illustrate that pretty well in this video. So going through and editing that, I think it's quite a balanced noise, and I think I did illustrate that exactly. So when you're in the passenger compartment of the car, it's barely audible. But when you're standing in front of that car where it's needed, it is a very noticeable noise, and it would catch people's attention. So that's quite good. Now the Boombox feature, I could take or leave it. The most I have used it is when I was making this video for you guys. Now I think, as I said before, if you're a bit of a practical joker or whatever, you could have some fun with that feature. Yeah, look, I can take it or leave it, as I said. So you can make your own mind up there. I'll leave that up to you. Now value for money, I think it's quite reasonable considering it's an OEM genuine part. And there is some labour there in fitting it. In that little short I made a few months ago, I made it look pretty easy to get to that pedestrian warning speaker, or that location, but I don't know where the plug was in the wiring harness. That may have taken a bit of extra effort to get to, and overall I don't think it actually took them that long to fit anyway, but I feel like the labor cost was reasonable, and especially from an OEM, you know, with a genuine part, I think it was pretty reasonable at just over $300. So yeah, look, I'm happy I did it. I don't regret it, and I hope I have been able to illustrate it enough today in this video for you to make an informed decision as to whether you want to fit it on your car. And just remember, you can't turn it off or disconnect it once it's fitted. So hopefully that was one of the reasons I wanted to make this video on it, so that you don't fit it and then regret doing it afterwards. So anyway guys, I do appreciate you watching my videos, and I will catch you next video. Thanks.